You wake with a silver collar around your neck, and the first thing you learn is that trying to take it off hurts more than leaving it on. A woman stands nearby wearing a matching bracelet. She is called a Sul'dam. You are now called Damane, leashed one. Your old name still exists, technically. So does your old life. They just belong to someone the Seanchan have decided you are no longer allowed to be, and here is the ugly part. This is not treated as a crime. In Seanchan society, it is treated as public safety. Inside the world of the Wheel of Time, the Seanchan build much of their military power around women who can channel the One Power. But they do not see these women as soldiers, priests, or citizens. They see them as dangerous beings that must be controlled. Girls are tested. Those who can channel on their own are collared. Once the item closes around the neck, the woman on the other end of the leash gains terrifying control. The official logic is simple. A woman who can channel is too dangerous to walk free. Therefore, enslaving her for life is supposedly reasonable. That argument becomes much easier when you are not wearing the collar. The first punishment is the collar itself. The Sul'dam is not just a chain, it creates a link between Damane and Sul'dam. A Damane cannot simply attack the woman holding her leash. Even trying can bring terrible physical consequences. The collar also lets the Sul'dam control her and punish her immediately. That means there is no locked room where you can quietly hate your captor. Your anger is part of the prison. Your resistance is part of the prison. Even the idea of fighting back becomes something your trainer teaches you to fear. And the Seanchan are patient teachers. A newly captured Damane is expected to learn obedience fast. Commands are repeated. Resistance is punished. Cooperation is rewarded. The goal is not merely to make you follow orders while someone watches. The goal is to make obedience feel normal. That is much darker. Because chains are expensive if a prisoner keeps pulling against them. A prisoner who begins policing herself is much more convenient. The books show this clearly through Egwene after she is captured near Falme. Her Sul'dam, Renna, does not treat her as an enemy officer. She treats her like a badly behaved pet that needs training. When Egwene channels without permission, punishment comes quickly. Renna even gives her a new name, Tuli, the name of a pet kitten. Think about how calculated that is. You are not only losing freedom, you are losing the right to define yourself. Your captor can rename you after a household animal and expect you to answer. The Empire would probably call this correction. You would probably call it Tuesday in Hell. Then comes forced use of the One Power. A Damane is valuable because she can do things ordinary soldiers cannot. She can attack, defend, move objects, and perform other tasks using the power. Training is not designed to make her harmless. It is designed to make her useful. That creates a strange nightmare. The ability that caused you to be enslaved is now the reason your enslavers keep you alive. You are dangerous, they say. Now please use that dangerous power exactly where we point. And if you refuse, the collar makes disagreement extremely unpleasant. The Seanchan can also use physical punishment. Damane may be beaten or switched during training, and the Sul'dam allows punishment to be immediate and difficult to resist. But raw pain is only one part of the system. The more effective punishment is humiliation. Damane are spoken about as property. They are transferred, inspected, trained, praised, corrected, and discussed in front of others as though they are not fully independent people. Some Sul'dam may be gentle. Some may genuinely believe they care for their Damane. That does not make the system kinder. It makes it stranger. A woman can feed you, praise you, protect you from unnecessary injury, and still believe with complete confidence that you should never be free again. Seanchan culture can even present a well-treated Damane as fortunate. You have food, shelter, training, a purpose. What more could a human being want? Freedom, apparently, did not make the list. The conditioning can become so deep that long-term Damane may fear life without the leash. The prison does not need stone walls if the prisoner has been taught that the world outside is wrong. Damane who behave are rewarded. Damane who resist are corrected. The woman holding the leash may speak with the calm tone someone might use with a horse. Good behavior brings comfort. Defiance brings pain. Repeat that long enough and the body starts learning before the mind agrees. Then there is the punishment of being used in war. Imagine standing on a battlefield while arrows fall around you. Soldiers scream. Horses panic. Smoke gets in your eyes. You may have spent your earlier life believing channeling should be controlled by rules, conscience, or personal choice. None of that matters now. The Sul'dam gives an order. You channel. A Damane can become artillery with a heartbeat, and if she is an Aes Sedai bound by the 3 oaths, things become even more complicated. Those oaths limit how she can use the power as a weapon, but the Seanchan still search for ways to make captured channelers useful. The collar does not care about dignity. Military planners rarely do either. But the worst punishment may be permanence. For many Damane, there is no sentence to finish, no 10 years, no 20 years, no morning when someone opens the door and says you have paid your debt. Being Damane is a new identity meant to last for life. The Empire does not believe it is imprisoning an innocent woman. It believes it has correctly classified something dangerous. That difference matters, because a jailer who knows he is cruel may hesitate. A jailer who believes he is responsible can sleep extremely well, and then the system develops one enormous problem. Sul'dam themselves can learn to channel. That discovery attacks the logic of Seanchan society at its foundation. The women trusted to hold the leash are not completely separate from the women forced to wear it. Suddenly the question becomes awkward. If women who can channel must be collared because they are dangerous, what happens when your respected leash holders are also potential channelers? At that point, the official philosophy begins doing what official philosophies often do when reality becomes inconvenient. It starts sweating. Now, exaggerated versions of Damane punishment also circulate in fan discussions and adaptations. Not every horrifying method attributed to the Seanchan is equally supported by the books. The strongest canon material is disturbing enough without inventing secret torture chambers every 20 feet. The horror is more ordinary than that. A collar, a command, a new name, a reward for obedience, pain for resistance, years of conditioning until captivity starts being described as care. Egwene later remembers her time as Damane in terms of pain, humiliation, and terror. That matters, because Seanchan defenders can describe Damane as protected and privileged. Both sides are looking at the same collar. One sees security. The other remembers what it felt like around her neck, and that is what makes the Damane system so ugly. The Seanchan do not need to wake up every morning thinking, "Today we will be monsters." They have something more efficient. Rules, tradition, training. A respectable explanation for why the victim deserves the leash. The worst punishment was never just the pain. It was being told that the pain was for your own good, the collar was for everyone's safety, your obedience was kindness, and your stolen life was actually a privilege. And if you disagreed, there was always someone nearby holding the bracelet.